Back Row Administrative Welcome, man. Mr. Mahdi coming at you live and direct. So, real quick, wanted to discuss and kind of have a quick discussion about the whole situation with Nick Cannon. Things that Nick Cannon said regarding members of the Jewish community. I'm not even going to knock on that. So his big thing of what he said was, members of the Jewish community are part of the bloodline, part of the elite. Okay, every religion has members in the elite. So be it Christianity, Judaism, Islam, these are controlled religions. The elite control that game. We know that. These are the masters of society, and inside of each of those religions, you have members of the society, which is not even supposed to go hand in hand. You're not supposed to be a member of a religious group and a Mason. It's not even supposed to be going on, but it takes place all the time. So, of course, he said they control the money, they control the banks, and, that's always been a discussion with, the Catholic Church having so much control over the finances of America, the Muslims having a big chunk of control with the oil money. It's always been a conversation. But that's not what I'm going to build on. That's not really what I'm here to build on, because that's, we can accuse everybody of really, having a hand in everybody's pocket. But I say the elite has their hand in everybody's pocket. The elite plays everybody and use religion as a way of doing it. So I talk about religious groups, and Judaism is a religious group with various members, and it does not belong to one set of people. So I always try to make that clear. Just like anybody can be a Muslim, anybody can be a Christian, anybody can be a Buddhist. There's no ethnic preference for a religion. If you want to be a member, you can be a member. And we'll get deeper into that. Okay. So one thing that's been going around is this claim that certain people are anti-Semitic. And that's the first thing that we hear, that accusation. So I want to define this. I'm going to define this one time, and I don't want to go back and do this, and you can do your own research. But we're going to end all this foolishness when it comes to this term. So we'll take Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster's dictionary, of course, created in 1828. So the definition of anti-Semitic, relating to or characterized by anti-Semitism, feeling or showing hostility towards or discrimination against Jews as a cultural, race, or ethnic group. That's how Merriam-Webster defines anti-Semitic. So right off the bat, they tied into a religious group. Okay? And that's the first mistake of Merriam-Webster, by tying into one specific religious group, because the Semitic languages are various languages, and we'll get to that. It's not just one language. Judaism is not a language. Hebrew is the language. Judaism is not the language. Hebrew is the language. That's the language that is spoken in the Jewish religion. Just like in Islam, Arabic is spoken. So first, let's clarify that piece. If you're saying a person's anti-Semitic, you're talking about the language of Hebrew. You're not talking about a religious group. And I'll tell you why that's a problematic thing when one religious group tries to claim that. And we'll talk about that piece. Here's Merriam-Webster's definition of a Semite. A Semite, a member of any of the number of peoples of ancient southwestern Asia, coming out of Asia, and that can be around that area, kind of Eastern European area, southwestern Asia, including the Akkadians, Phoenicians, Hebrews, and Arabs. So they say including the Akkadians, Phoenicians, Hebrews, and Arabs. That's how they kind of notate. So the Hebrews are part of are Semites, known to be Semites. The Arabs are part of are Semites. The Phoenicians are Semites. The Akkadians are Semites. And you put them together under the umbrella of the Semitic languages. So when a Jewish person calls a Muslim anti-Semitic, you can't do that, because that's a Semite. They speak a Semitic language. They can't be anti-Semitic because they go under the umbrella of the Semite. They're Arabs. So they're Semites. They can't be anti-Semitic. They're true Semites. So you can't call them Semites. That's the Pacific person you're talking about. What you got to do is find out how you flow under this umbrella of being a Semite. First, you got to prove that you're a Semite. You just can't say, well, I'm Jewish and I'm a Semite. Okay, you got black Jews, Asian Jews, you got African Jews, Asian Jews, European Jews. You know, you got Jews from all over the world. So where do you fall as far as a Semite? And we're going to break down who's a Semite, who's not a Semite. Because everybody just can't claim to be a Semite. Because if that's the case, there are some Christians who can claim to be Semites, which they can, because they do speak some Semitic languages. So we'll get into deeper part of that. So, who are the Semites? Where does the term come from? Where is it coined from? It is coined out of the Bible, coined from the Torah. Torah created Bible, Old Testament. Most of the Old Testament you can find inside of the Torah. So these books have been written. And inside of that book, they break down who these Semites were, who these Semitic people, who these people that speak these Semitic languages are. So in the Bible Gateway, New International Version, talks about the Semites. So the Semite or Semites, according to the Bible, let's get into the Holy Scripture. Let's get into the Torah. Let's get into the Old Testament. Let's go into the book. This is written. You can't change this. This is what it is. The term Semite was used by Johann Gottfried Acorn in 1787 in his introduction to the Old Testament, where he applied it to the peoples whose habitat is first. This is how we applied it. To peoples whose habitat is first, those people of Ethiopia. They are Semites. They are Hebrews or Semites. So when we talk about Hebrews in the Bible, when we're talking about the area that they're in, which is Africa, these are the Hebrews they're talking about in the Old Testament. And the first people he coined are the Ethiopians as being these Semites that are talked about in the Bible, people south of the Sahara that speak those Bantu languages that we talk about so much. Okay? So the first people they coined are the Ethiopians. Now, you remember in Adam Sandler's film, I'm going to take it from the people who giving it to you. They gave it to you this year in Uncut Gems. In Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler talks about the Ethiopian Jews. Hold up, Adam. Those aren't Jews. Those are Hebrews from Ethiopia. Those are Semites you're talking about. Those are the Hebrews you're talking about, Adam. So they don't do it like Jews do it. They do it like Hebrews do it. If you go there and worship with them, it's going to be totally different than how Jews around the world do it. Everybody does it a different way. They won't call themselves that. They'll call themselves Hebrews when you go down there to Ethiopia, because that's what they are. They know what they are. They know what they are. Okay? Second, those people coming from Arabia. So this is coined in 1787. He saw the Arabians as Semites. He saw the Palestinians as Semites. Remember now, Israel is Palestine. That's the same place. So those people in Israel who were born and raised there, or born in Palestine before they changed the name, those are Semites. Those are Semites. Those people have been speaking a Semitic language their whole life. Hebrew has been a part of their culture for a long period of time. Phoenicians, Syrians are also under the banner of Semites. And the countries of the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers, or anything around the Euphrates, the Tigris rivers, these are Semites. These are Semites. These are Semitic people. These are Semitic people. And we'll look at the Euphrates. There's a picture of Euphrates River, Euphrates and Tigris River. And we want area of those two. All right, so the Euphrates River is around Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. These are your Semites. This is what he coined in 1787. These are your Semites. These are the people in the Bible. So let's go back. When we go back to that, the term was apparently first used by A.R. Schulzer, a German, in 1781 to designate the descendants of Shem in the list of Genesis 10:21. So you go to 10:21, they break down the descendants of Shem and how they came out. Those people that were the true children of Israel. That's what we're talking about. The children of Israel, as they're called in the Old Testament. Those are the people that broke away. Those are your people in Iraq, Turkey, people around the Euphrates and Tigris. Your people in Arabia, your Ethiopians, your Hebrews. These people are the people that branched out and kind of created some of these races that we see today. Your Phoenicians. These are your Semites. These are your Semites. Okay. All right. So I say this to say what? Stop using a term to benefit yourself. And I'm going to say that no religious group has the right to use a term that benefits them. When the research states the term is not about a religion. Muslims can't claim it by themselves. Christians can't claim it for themselves. Jews can't claim it for themselves. Buddhists can't claim it for themselves. Semites are people. Semites are those children of Israel that we talk about in the Holy Book. Semites are those Hebrews that we talk about in the Holy Book. Those are those people. And that is a various mixture of people who go under that banner, who speak these Semitic languages. So a Muslim or an Arab person of Arab descent can't be anti-Semitic because they're a Semite. An Ethiopian that speaks Hebrew or anybody who speaks Hebrew coming from that region can't be anti-Semitic because they're a Semite. Those Bantu-speaking people that are here in America, the descendants of those Bantu, we can't be anti-Semitic because we are a part of those Semites who traveled around Africa, who ended up in West Africa around the Congo and places like that. So how can we be against what we are? We can't be against what we are. We can't be against what we are. And it's sad that, people have got to the point where I'm going to use whatever I can. So in that case, you're claiming that you're African. You're claiming that you're Arabian. You're claiming that you are Phoenician. You're claiming that you are Syrian. You're claiming that you are Turkish. These are the things that you're saying that you are. But the minute that somebody says, well, you have to be these things, oh, I'm not that. I come from Poland, or I come from Warsaw, or I come from over here, I come from Russia, I come from these places. That's not what the good book is talking about when it talks about Semites and Hebrews. That's not where they come from. So if you're going to be that thing, then first you must admit the truth that you are African. You are like me. You are Adolf's descendant, and your people went those ways, and the Hebrews traveled those ways. So we can speak those languages. Everyone can speak those languages. If you speak Arabic, I speak some Arabic. Some people speak Hebrew. I know a lot of African Americans who are Hebrew Israelites that speak Hebrew better than a lot of people in the Jewish community. People in the Jewish community speak the ethnic languages of their country. Some are Yiddish. They speak various different languages. So, this whole thing where you're anti this, you're anti that. No, it has nothing to do with a religious group. Let's stop that. Let's stop coining it like that. That's how Merriam-Webster coined it, to benefit people. That's a benefit definition, because you wanted to make it pacific. You wanted to allow a religion to do that. And no religion has the right to do that. So if we're going to be Christian, we're going to be Muslim, we're going to be Jews, don't claim to be people that you're not. And when you claim to be people that you're not, that's where the problem comes. Because if you're going to claim it for what it is. Claim it for what the good book said it is. Claim it for what the Old Testament says it is. Those people in Ethiopia, those Hebrews, you're saying that you are descendants of them, the Turkish, the Syrians, the Phoenicians. You're saying that you are descendants of them. But just stop throwing around the term to benefit yourself, because that's not right. And then you make people, who sometimes I hit a term for people who is impossible for that even to determine. If the person speaks Arabic, they can't be anti-Semitic. How can they be anti-Semitic? They're speaking a Semitic language. So stop doing that. But we've got so comfortable with throwing things under the banner, and that's the evil of it. Because the Creator did not make religion for one set of people. And that's not even the breakdown of it. We're talking about the children of Abraham. We're talking about those Hebrews, those people in Africa. That's what we're talking about. And you cannot discount that or take it away for what it is. Egypt was in Africa the last time I looked. Moses was chilling in Egypt the last time I looked. So if you're saying that you are descendants of that, then you are like me. You are an ADOS. You are an African. So how can we be against each other? We can't be against each other. We can't lay claim over each other. And we dare not say that one is God and the other one is not. Because how is God going to look at you on the day of power and on that day of power and that day of reckoning for the things that you have said, yet you have discounted his true children. You've discounted the children of Abraham. You've not respected the legacy of the children of Abraham. You act like they have not existed because you don't want to give claim and bow down to the motherland, which you have to anyway, because at the end of the day, it's all going back to the motherland anyway. We are all African. The real Hebrews and the children of Israel come from Africa. And they created what you see today as they sprang out of those different places. So the Semitic languages are more than one language. They have nothing to do with the religion. They have nothing to do with the religion. They are the languages of various people. And they can't be against themselves because they speak these languages. They've spoken them for generations. So even with Brother Nick Cannon, Brother Nick, he did not make any anti-Semitic statements. He made statements against a religious group. That's it. That religious group did not agree with it. Okay, that's fair. But stop coining people anti this and anti that and trying to use the language to your benefit, because the language has nothing to do. The language is spoken in the religion. But that's it. Everybody in that religion is not Hebrew. You can't claim something you're not unless you're saying that you're African. That's something totally different. And now if you're saying you're African, that's something totally different. So, discounting, things as what they is. Like I say, I didn't write this information in the Bible Gateway. This information was written by Mr. Eichhorn in 1787. And he started off telling you where those people came from. He started off telling you about Ethiopia. He started off telling you about the motherland. And either A, you come to terms with that, or it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it all comes from Mother Africa. It all started from her, and it all will end with her. Mr. Mahdi, Back Row Ministry, peace and hair grease.